'Tis the season indeed to be aware of scams online and otherwise. And my guest this morning is Kathy Stokes, who is the Director of Fraud Prevention Programs at AARP Fraud Watch Network. Kathy, good morning. Consumers are targeted all the time. New technology, new methods. I know that AARP just released a new report. What were some of the top findings?
Well, I think the most eye-opening is that 82% of us have experienced some form of fraud this past year, whether that's someone being targeted or actually being defrauded and having money stolen from them.
In the past probably 3 weeks, I think I've received two text messages talking to me about some package that I need to confirm. And the only thing that kept me from doing anything about it other than clicking delete and report scam was I wasn't expecting a package.
And that's the thing. When we get into the holiday season, we may not know if we're expecting a package, if somebody's sending us a gift. So that really ramps up. And over the year, 56% of us have received that text message. It must be working. It's doubled since 2021, the amount of people that have received these. You just have to, understand that it's fraud. I mean, 99.5% of the time, that is a fraudulent text. And if you're concerned about it, go to ups.com and find a phone number and ask if there's a problem.
I know personally, I do probably 85 to 90% of my holiday shopping online and have now for the past probably 8 to 10 years. How has the shift to internet buying affected the amount of consumer fraud that you deal with?
Oh, it's exponential. And now there's this new technology, generative artificial intelligence, that can create a website to look exactly like a retailer that you go to. So it's really hard to determine what's real and what's not. So one of the safest things to do is not to click on, for example, an ad on social media for a great discount on something. If it looks like it was Target that posted that, go to target.com. Don't click on the link because quite often that link is taking you to a page that looks like Target but isn't, and they're just trying to get you to put in your credit card information.
So the old adage, if it looks too good to be true, still applies.
Yeah, I suppose it does. And, if you're looking at something that's like 75% off and it's the big purchase of the year, you just, understand that that's probably not true.
Yeah, especially as you come up, you're dealing with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all of this. I can just imagine the amount of online fraud. Actually, I can't, I guess, imagine the amount of online fraud that would be going on. There are a number of different cash apps that people use these days. In the past 2 weeks alone, I've used both Zelle and Venmo, still use PayPal. What are some of the things that people should be aware of with that, Kathy?
Well, with the Venmos and the Cash Apps and the Zelles, use them as intended, and they're intended for you to transfer money between you and somebody you know. So splitting a dinner bill, sending money to the kids in college, paying the dog walker, but really to use them to make a purchase, especially with a company you've never done business with before, it's a risky proposition. They don't have the same protections that credit cards have. So really, you should be using credit cards so that you have that backstop of being able to work with a credit card company if you never get the product that you thought you were purchasing or it's an inferior version of it.
And what are some of the things that people should be looking out for with regard to gift cards, which are so popular this time of year?
Yeah, popular with criminals too. We saw back in 2021, 21% of us had reported that we've either received or given a gift card with no value, and that kind of blew us away. This year, it's 30%. So what's happening is these criminals are sending people into retailers, and they're taking the cards off the racks, manipulating them so that they can access the information on the back of the card, record it, put them back on that rack, and then as soon as somebody takes one of those and goes to the cash register, boom, they know, and they drain the funds. They're also doing that electronically with what they call ghost bots, where they're searching for cards that have value on them online and draining them.
You mentioned artificial intelligence. How much has that changed the game?
I kind of refer to artificial intelligence as the industrial revolution for fraud criminals. I mean, it's really changed the game, and its scale, its simplicity of how the tools work. You know, you can spend $50 and get a tool that creates the perfect website, the perfect email that gets you to go to that website, and you just don't know that it's fraudulent. It's just too hard to tell.
Now, a lot of times, you think of scams being imposed upon the elderly, but this is an all ages type of thing, especially, we were talking about those cash apps, which are so popular among younger people.
Absolutely. One other thing we saw that was an interesting generational difference is experiencing travel fraud, like when you're trying to book something like a car or a hotel. Overall, we see 12% of people have experienced fraud, trying to book travel. 20% of people under 45 have experienced that compared to just 5% of people over 45.
For listeners who want to learn more information, make sure that they're safeguarded during the holiday buying season. Kathy, where can they go?
Head on over to aarp.org/fraudwatchnetwork. While you're there, sign up for our biweekly watchdog alerts. You'll get an email or a text just to kind of remind you that fraud is out there. So think about it, share what you know, and hopefully by sharing what you know, then you're going to protect that next person from the fraud.
And again, that website is aarp.org/Fraud Watch Network. Kathy Stokes, the Director of Fraud Prevention Programs at AARP Fraud Watch Network. Thank you so much for your time this morning here on Jersey Magazine.
Thank you.